Right, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. This is the first Movie Hooker YouTube video of 2023. So, start as I mean to go on. I've been sort of inspired throughout the year, just in the way that I should be approaching the channel and what I should be talking about. So, anyway, I'm trying out this little new mic thing, and I'm just in my fucking pajamas, because that's how I roll. But for this video, I want to talk about, I feel like I've been talking about it a lot, actually, but it is something I think that needs to be talked about, because not a lot of people seem to be understanding it. Even if they think they're understanding it, I think maybe 99.9% of those people are wrong. Put it that way. What I want to talk about is one of the most controversial horror films of 2022. It's weird saying that. And that's called Speak No Evil. It's a Danish movie. Hold on a sec. I got my little laptop here. I can't remember the director's name. It's Christian something. Hold on. Speak No Evil. So it is directed by Christian Taftrup. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that fucking name wrong. But Christian Taftrup, and the writers is Christian Taftrup and his brother, Mads Taftrup. It is a Danish movie, and when these guys set out to write this movie, they knew they were making a horror movie, but they had one thing that they really wanted to accomplish, and that was to make the most disturbing movie in Danish history, film history. So I think they have achieved it now. The whole movie has separated people, because people are saying, no, this isn't realistic. You know, how can this happen? And they just let it happen. Guys, we're not all fucking Jason Bourne in movies, but that is what cinema has taught us. Cinema has taught us that if a loved one is in danger, you know, you just fucking wake up, you cock the gun, and you're like, right, let's go. I am going to kill everybody. I am going to save my loved one. I'm going to ride into the sunset, and it's going to be a happy ending. Cinema has taught us that. That is the formula that we have been fed and led to believe. That's not what fucking happens in real life. Now, people are saying, oh, I would have killed those guys. Would you really? If you really think about it, would you really approach these guys? Now, there's going to be some spoilers here, you know, so if you haven't seen Speak No Evil, I would highly recommend you stop watching this video, okay? Because there's going to be spoilers. So I believe that Speak No Evil works so well because the intention all along was to have people that couldn't fight back. It's a more realistic approach to realism, to cinema, you know. And then there's the fact that, you know, not everybody can fight back. There is some people that can fight back. Like I know some people that would probably fight back and probably win and save the day. But 99.9% of all you people that are saying, nope, if my daughter was put through that, then, you know, there's no way. That guy's neck would have been snapped and I would have been fucking, you know, cocking the guns. All my military training just came out. And man, it doesn't happen. The shit that happened in Speak No Evil was so this is completely unscripted here. So like, it was so, no one in their life should have to go through something like that. And those people who do go through something like that, they don't really come out the other side to be able to tell that story. So if you're faced with these unimaginable things that are happening to you, and there's so many red flags, you could be frozen. You could be that scared of interacting, because if this is what that family is doing in front of you, then imagine if you say, right, enough is enough. Fucking, you're doing this to my daughter, you're doing this here, enough's enough, you're fucked. Then imagine what they could do if they actually, I think that is the whole point of the movie. It's like they were pushing them so hard to crack, and they just explode, but they didn't. They couldn't. They were wimps. And like, you know, people saying about the the kid in the bed and the dude lying there naked. Man, that is the fucking stuff of nightmares for any parent, for anybody. That is the fucking stuff of nightmares. But you do know that guy was lying in bed with his, like, he was awake and he was completely lucid, and he was just waiting for them to do something, you know? And that's why I think, yes, what happened in that bed was so wrong. But if that guy had said boo, then God knows if this guy was prepared to get in the bed naked in this scene, then imagine what he's going to do if he's confronted. That kid is a goner. That kid is going to get killed there and then on the fucking spot. So I want to reiterate here that this is a movie about the people who can't fight back. It's a movie about the wimps, the scaredy cats, and it's more realistic. We're not all natural born fucking killers, man. When faced with danger, some of us will freeze and some of us may be able to fight back, but the majority of us are just going to sit back in shock because, number one, this is like the most insane situation for any human being to be in. And number two, you're going to be fucking frozen in fear because this is so alien to you. How can something like this, how can people be so evil, and how are they doing it to us? What did we do to deserve this? That's what I think that Speak No Evil is about, So yeah, it's not about the people who fight back. This is exactly what the director was going for when he wrote this. And I love that, I actually have to think, I do admit now that, I've been watching horror movies with my grandmother since I've been like a little kid. And then I went on to have an obsession with cinema, and then went on to work 17 years in movie stores. And not to mention that I also, I founded Movie Hooker as well, just because I want to hook people up with some of the same viewing experiences I have. And so all these years later, and all these franchises are out, nothing against the franchises. They're good, like The Conjuring and fucking Annabelle and The Nun or whatever the fucking bollocks. I wouldn't be a fan of those, but this is what I've christened this sort of genre. Maybe it's called this already, but I call it human horror. And it's human horror because it's humans doing other things to other humans for no other reason. It's just because they can. And, I've seen a few people say, oh my God, the last words in Speak No Evil, before they're going to their biblical, before they walk themselves naked to their own biblical slaying without saying a fucking word. The guy says, why are you doing this to us? And he says something like, I can't remember the exact words. It's like, because you let us. People said, that is a shit line. When he said that, every single fucking hair in my body just went, I was like, oh my God, that just makes it, when it clicks, when it fucking clicks with you, it's like, oh my God, it makes those last words way more harrowing and way more disturbing. And yeah, by the end of this movie, it was like, holy shit. I just felt like, I was gutted, and I love that. I was left feeling uncomfortable and going, oh man, that was just, and then I'm like, whoo, that's what horror is supposed to do. There was also supposedly meant to be a different ending. And I think we were going to see multiple deaths. Basically, when that couple were getting stoned to death, I think it would cut, and then it would go to another couple that they've killed. When your man's in the attic and there's all pictures everywhere. Well, those guys have been doing this, for a long, long time. And I said in an article yesterday that I read that when a serial killer kills somebody, nearly all the time they'll take a fucking trophy, lock of hair. I don't know, man. Just something, they'll take it. And I sincerely believe that the manipulation in Speak No Evil is the equivalent of taking a serial killer, taking taking their trophy. The manipulation is their trophy. That is what they get their serial killer kicks from, is the manipulation. And once that manipulation, they've achieved that master manipulation, they have to kill them. So I think the killing is the boring part for them, really. But the manipulation is where they really get their kicks. So that is what I want to say about Speak No Evil. And I hope maybe you might understand it a little tiny bit more now. Because it's a fucking great movie. It's definitely, like it or hate it, it's one of the most talked about movies of 2022. And I love that. So next, a lot of people have been asking, what movies are similar to Speak No Evil. And as I said, I wrote an article about this yesterday. So I'm pretending this isn't scripted, but I'm sort of going off what I wrote yesterday. Sorry, my ass is sore. People are asking what movies are similar to Speak No Evil. And I said, there's when you're looking at human horror of people doing nasty shit to other people just because they can, yes, there is an endless amount of movies. You've got freaking Martyrs, 7 Days, Grotesque, Funny Games, Eden Lake. As I said, the list goes on. But if you're looking for something, and I'm going to say these two movies are pretty much identical, because they're pretty much the same story, different setting, different characters, but the same story. That movie's called, excuse me, Nothing Bad Can Happen. And I've also got a YouTube video up here somewhere of me talking about that movie, because it's one of my favorites as well. So it's something I've really analyzed a lot and watched countless times, as uncomfortable as it made me feel. So Nothing Bad Can Happen follows this young dude called Tor. And he's like a devout Christian. He's like a part of this fucking movement called the Jesus Freaks. And, I think after one of their get-togethers, he gets lost in a storm and gets lost in the rural countryside. And the poor dude thinks that he's being guided by Jesus. This guy loves Jesus, right? Loves him. Jesus is everywhere. Jesus is you. Jesus is me. Love is everywhere. No one is evil. So, running through the storm, rural countryside in Germany, he meets this seemingly nice family who invite him in. And, that's it. That's all I'm really going to say. They invite him in, and really nasty stuff happens to him. It's the exact same story, the exact same manipulation as Speak No Evil. It's about a vulnerable person who cannot fight back, who won't fight back. And not only will this kid not fight back, he believes nothing bad can happen. I actually just said that out of the blue. I didn't mean to say it. He believes, maybe that's where it came, nothing bad can happen because of God. And God is going to shine down, and this family's so nice, and oh God, you done it again, man. Thank you, Jesus. But the violence that poor kid goes through is it hits harder than Speak No Evil. It's, oh dear, it's fucking, it's hard even to talk about a little bit, but it's vicious, it's horrible, but it is a must watch. And all the way through this movie, this kid, no matter what horrendous, horrific stuff was happening to him, never lost faith in Jesus. And it was just like, oh man, you really want Jesus to be real in that moment when this stuff is happening to Tor. And it's a phenomenal movie. It was a directorial debut by a woman called Catherine Gebe. I'm not too sure how to pronounce the name. But what a phenomenal directorial debut. And also the performances from the whole cast in this movie is absolutely astonishing. So that's me pretty much finished. This video, I wanted to talk about Speak No Evil. And, maybe explain a little bit what happened and why things happened the way they did happen. And then I wanted to tell you about a movie exactly like Speak No Evil, which is Nothing Bad Can Happen from Germany. And I really, really hope that you go now and you check out Nothing Bad Can Happen, because it's great. It's so good. But man, you'll be like, you'll come back. If you do watch it, come back and let me know what you think. And you'll be just like, oh man, what the fuck? That was just, why do people make this stuff? I love it. I love feeling uneasy, and it's not real. We all know that. It's acting, it's makeup. I wouldn't be watching real stuff like that. But anyway, let me try and say this again without fucking going off track. If you're looking for something that is exactly like Speak No Evil and you can't find it, the most identical cinematic experience that you can get to it is Nothing Bad Can Happen, from Germany. Can't remember the year. 2014, maybe. Not too sure. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, for watching. And I will be making more of these videos here. Open fire. Got a couple of movie posters. That all took. I've got my Mac here. I haven't made anything actually in a while, man, because my whole house got flooded. I woke up and it was all underwater, about this much. My Mac got destroyed. I've still no couch in my living room. It's just a big shell because my couch got destroyed and I'm skint. I got a new Mac, so I'm now £1,400 in debt. But yay, at least I can do more YouTube videos. So if you enjoyed if you enjoyed this video, then hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything at all. Guys, thank you very much. Rock on.